really like to thank Lori for an outstanding job, and I appreciate all of you who bid on this. It's kind of amazing. This is our first attempt at this, and I think we're going to continue it as long as Bill and Lori agree to continue trying. I'm up here to introduce our speaker, and actually he doesn't need any introductions. The people in this area know what an outstanding job Ken Calvert has done for the veterans and for the armed forces. But the rest of us in the DFC Society, a lot of us didn't realize how much he really did to get the National Memorial dedicated. He and his staff, it wasn't just a one-man operation. The head guy always gets all the glory, but there's a lot of workers that help out to get it done. And they really went all the way to get that passed through the House. We're having a little problem with the Senate, but we're going to overcome that. And hopefully, maybe by the end of this next session, it'll be passed. The people here in Riverside County can count on Ken for supporting them in any endeavor that they do, and he really needs no introduction. So I'd like Ken to come up here and talk.
Thank you, Chuck. It's certainly an honor for me to be back here today. Obviously, we had a little windy afternoon. I had to leave a little early. Sorry I had to leave a little bit. I was off with Meg Whitman for a couple hours, but it's great to be back here this evening. A lot of work and a lot of dedication went into this, and it's certainly my privilege to be here. And it was my privilege to participate in the dedication ceremony this morning for the Distinguished Flying Cross Society Memorial for all the recipients of the Distinguished Flying Cross. The Inland Empire chapter of the Distinguished Flying Cross Society has done an exemplary job of bringing the monument from a vision to reality through perseverance and dedication. I know the kind of work that goes into these types of things. I was involved with many volunteers with the Medal of Honor Memorial in the National Cemetery and the POW MIA Memorial at the National Cemetery, along with the War Dog Memorial right here, also in the plaza. And it takes a lot of dedication and work to make this happen. So I certainly, for the community and for our state and for our country, I thank you for what you've done. I was certainly proud to introduce legislation to designate this memorial as a national memorial, which honors all current and former members of the armed forces who have been awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross. As you know, the bill passed the House March 19, 2010, as Chuck mentioned. It was passed unanimously. However, like many bills, it's now awaiting action in the Senate. I encourage all of you, when you return to your home states, you might call your U.S. senators and urge them to support this very non-controversial bill, pull it out of committee and bring it to the Senate floor for a vote. It'll pass immediately. And I'm hoping in the lame duck session that we're having here shortly that we can do exactly that. There's a number of non-controversial bills. I'm hopeful we can get passed and get it done this year rather than having to reintroduce the bill in the 112th Congress, which I'll do if necessary, but hopefully we can get this done immediately, and that should be the case. Chuck mentioned staff. Maria on my staff, a lot of people know Maria Louie on my staff, and she's been fantastic. does all my armed services work in the Washington, D.C. office, and she worked very hard to get this bill passed on the House level, and certainly continue to work to get this thing done in the United States Senate, which we need to get done. I'd like to thank all those who worked tirelessly to ensure that this memorial was built and dedicated. In particular, I'd like to recognize Jim Chaplin, who has been instrumental in this effort, and we've been talking to Jim all through this effort. I'd also like to recognize Mark Burton, and Jim Oberman for their contributions. They've worked very hard also, as many of you have. Today's dedication was, as I mentioned today, a time-honored tradition dating back thousands of years. Memorials have been around for a long time. They're a constant reminder of actions and people who have been forgotten by passing years. We honor our past and we build a better future through remembering the moments and individuals who exceeded expectations and achieved the extraordinary. Our country has long honored all those who take up arms and serve in the United States military. It is a distinguished brotherhood, and while none of us relish the thought of war, it is because of our servicemen and women our country continues to be a beacon of freedom in the world. Our military is not boastful. It does not ask for memorials or parades, but it's incumbent in our society to remember and honor their sacrifices. Today's dedication of the memorial is a tangible embodiment of our gratitude to our fearless aviators who have gone above and beyond the call of duty and are recipients of the prestigious Distinguished Flying Cross. As I mentioned today, the wall on the memorial will hold the words from President Abraham Lincoln, quote, "A nation that does not honor its heroes will not endure," end quote. Today we'll remember and honor all the brave young men and women, including those who have not received the Distinguished Flying Cross. They truly hold a special place in U.S. aviation history. In reading and learning more about the Distinguished Flying Cross Society, I've been moved by many of the stories. One such story is about Dewey Albright, a first lieutenant in the Army Air Corps 387th Bombardment Group. On February 14, 1945, Lieutenant Albright was serving as a bombardier of a B-26 Marauder and participated in an attack against an important communications center and enemy strongpoints in Germany. Before Lieutenant Albright could release his bombs, his airplane was struck by enemy fire and Albright was wounded. Despite his severe injury and with sole focus on the mission, Lieutenant Albright secured his target, released the bombs. We can only imagine the determination and perseverance it takes to fly the infamous twin-engine Widowmaker, as it was called, while wounded. However, he successfully completed his mission. To Lieutenant Albright and all the brave men of World War II who flew some of the most dangerous missions in history, the Distinguished Flying Cross Memorial honors you. Tradition of flying courageously in uncharted skies and under varying circumstances was established by the earliest aviators, and since that time been a hallmark of U.S. aerial flight. Another time of particular danger for military aviators was during the Vietnam War. Almost every flight was high risk, and yet our brave helicopter pilots never hesitated to enter the fray, especially when American lives were on the line. While serving as an Army captain, Ernest Arzabal flew the LOH-6, also known as the Loach. He was assigned to the 198th Infantry Brigade, 23rd Infantry Division. On November 13, 1970, Captain Arzabal was supporting a ground unit in his single-engine light observation helicopter designed for personnel transport, attack missions, and when an emergency medical evacuation was requested. Captain Azabal did not hesitate and maneuvered his two-seat aircraft into a pickup zone where he received heavy enemy fire. Despite intense hostile fire, Captain Azabal remained on the hot landing zone until the wounded soldier was placed aboard for extraction. Captain Azabal continued to extract wounded soldiers, ignoring the extreme risk to his own life until the enemy was completely routed from the area. Lieutenant Albright, Captain Azabal are just two examples of many stories, known and unknown, that exemplify the history of the Distinguished Flying Cross Society. It is because of all the brave men and women and the millions more from all branches of the United States military that we're able to enjoy this evening in peace, far from the dangerous, chaotic, and often violent world. The award of the Distinguished Flying Cross Memorial is one measure of gratitude. However, the dedication of a memorial to stand for years to come assures us that a solemn promise to always remember the sacrifices made by our military is kept and honored. Thank you to the Inland Empire Distinguished Flying Cross Society, all those who contributed to make the dedication today a reality, and most important, to the recipients of the Distinguished Flying Cross who are here and are an ongoing inspiration to all of us. God bless you and God bless America. Thank you very much.
The Board of Directors of the Distinguished Flying Cross Society would like to recognize all the efforts that Ken put into getting the National Memorial here and getting it halfway through Congress. And the good half, absolutely. So we unanimously decided to make him an honorary member of the Distinguished Flying Cross Society. Yay. And I'll just read the letter. Representative Kenneth Calvert, on behalf of the Distinguished Flying Cross Society, it's my pleasure to inform you that the Board of Directors unanimously approved you as an honorary member of the National Distinguished Flying Cross Society. It's the goal of the society to educate the public about the brave American heroes who have been awarded DFC medals. Your personal hard work and that of your staff has gone a long way in making our dream a reality. Your efforts in creating House Bill H.R. 2788 and presenting it to the House of Representatives resulted in the Distinguished Flying Cross Memorial at Marchfield Air Museum being named a national memorial. Following that, you convinced Senator Boxer to introduce a similar bill, S 3204-64, I guess, 84. Numbers don't matter because it didn't get there.
It's going to get there. We're going to get it done.
We're going to get it done. And Senator Dianne Feinstein became co-sponsor. We are privileged and honored to be associated with you and your staff, and we hope you will accept the high honor we bestow on you. Thank you for your past and patient current support. And also also, even though you're now an honorary Distinguished Flying Cross member, I'm giving you a bottle of Fighter Pilot Red. Did you get that? Is that it? I want to make sure that the medal shows up.
Turn it around.
Turn it a little bit more.
There.
There you go.
Sound of freedom.
There you go.